Hi everyone, welcome to VRC with Gaurav. In this video, we are going to take a look at RC passage number 19 from the book RC 99 by Aristotle Prep. As usual, I recommend that you pause the video here, read the entire passage, then use the timestamps that I put in the description box to access the questions, jot down the answers on a piece of paper, then come back to this point to check the explanation of the passage and also to check the answers for your questions. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. Coming to the genre of the passage, proper science based passage. Okay, by the way, there are only 3 questions to this passage, so please time your performance accordingly. And secondly, the difficulty level of this passage is dramatically different from or dramatically higher compared to the passage which is just previous to this one, RC passage 18. RC passage 18 was very short, very lame, very straightforward, very easy to understand. In contrast, this passage is longer. Difficulty level is also on the higher side. The questions are also decent level. Okay. So if you end up comparing that, okay, boss, I was doing so well in passage 18 and suddenly my performance is passage 19 has dropped. The times are also way off. So please don't be scared or please don't make such unfair comparisons. Both are really as different as chalk and cheese. Okay. All right. So coming back to the narrative, the genre of the passage is proper hardcore science based. Okay. And the passage is also loaded with a lot of information. So depending on your strength compared to depending on your strength in the science based genre of the passages, you may or may not require paraphrasing. Okay, there are some people जिनका retention अच्छा होता है, can also read, understand, also hold in mind whatever information is given in the passage. But some people I have seen, especially coming in from I don't mean to be discriminatory here, but people coming from backgrounds where they dropped science back in their 11th 12th immediately after school 10th ended, तो उनको शायद ये passage थोड़ा difficult जा सकता है. ठीक है, so in that case don't feel inferior, don't get stressed or bothered कि अरे यार ऐसे passages को handle कैसे करें. You just need to do decent paraphrasing. And what do I mean by decent paraphrasing? लंबे लंबे sentences लिखते नहीं चलना है. What you need to keep in mind is or develop your notes in such a way that they can pinpoint you कि कहाँ पे कौन सा piece of information है. For example, this passage has mentioned 3, 4, 5 researchers के नाम in different places. So you should simply be writing, let us say, para 3 is labeling Mr. X कहीं पे तो भी ठीक है. Now you did not write Mr. X का क्या opinion है. Simply, if there is a question about Mr. X or what his opinion is, you can simply go to para 3 and find what it or what the guy says. That's it. Some people have this bad habit of writing literally the entire opinion of given researchers or whatever information. Not cool. You don't have so much time in the main exam. Okay? Chalo, let's get started with the content, with the narrative of the passage. The passage starts off by saying 1979, man, you have to read the entire passage from that perspective, not 21st century perspective of 2024 and 25. काफी पहले हमें almost 40-50 years पीछे जाना है. What is happening is that there is a place in Italy where scientists are working and they have discovered what exactly? They have discovered a layer of clay. Now, clay, mitti. Okay, what is remarkable about this layer of clay? So it is going to pinpoint or it is going to revolutionize the thought process that existed at that time regarding the extinction, regarding the disappearance of dinosaurs. Okay, what was the contemporary thought process at that time regarding dinosaurs? In 1979 तक लोग क्या सोचते थे डायनासोर्स कैसे गायब हुए? It centered on gradual climate change. कि अच्छा ठीक है, whenever dinosaurs must have existed on Earth, the climate of the Earth changed gradually and the dinosaurs could not cope with it. So take a particular phase of time, maybe lasting over centuries and even millennium, फिर वो मर गए होंगे. Okay, but now this theory is going to get turned on its head completely. What's happening? Now I have drawn this layer, this diagram before you for ease of understanding. यहाँ पर हमें दिया गया है कि this black one, this is the clay that we are discussing, okay, which the researchers are researching about. Above that clay, what is given? Early Cenozoic fossils. उनको ऊपर जो limestone है, ऊपर जो पत्थर का layer है, early Cenozoic. Now you might be wondering, if you have solved the questions and all and maybe even gotten it correct, you might be wondering कि क्या मतलब है फिर ऐसी paraphrasing का, इसमें हम time क्यों waste करें? Thing is, when you're reading the passage for the first time, you don't know what's going to be asked. So sometimes making very quick diagrams or very quick notations like this is going to help. because बहुत सी बार passages like this depend on your comprehension and your memorization of the fact कि अच्छा नीचे क्या था, ऊपर क्या था, फिर उसके ऊपर क्या है, and the regarding inferences around it. ठीक है? So please keep that in mind. Next, beneath that layer, what is given? Late Cretaceous period. Okay. Now we don't need to understand, we don't need to memorize कि भैया ये सब क्या है, क्रेटाशियस क्या था, सेनोजोइक क्या है, क्ले क्या है, मुझे तो पागल हो रहा है. डोंट वरी. ओके, बस इसका इन्फरेंस क्या दिया है सेकंड पैराग्राफ में, यू शुड कीप इन माइंड. एंड वन कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग हैज टू बी दैट, देखो, द लेयर विच इज एट द मोस्ट बॉटम, दिस इज द ओल्डेस्ट, फिर ये, फिर उसके ऊपर ये, फिर डिपोजिशन बनते 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 मे बी टुडेज लैंड, टुडेज लेयर मस्ट बी ओवर हियर. ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ साइंटिस्ट स्टडी अर्थ एंड इट्स हिस्ट्री. जियोलॉजी इस तरीके से काम करती है, दैट द डीपर यू गो इनसाइड द सरफेस फ्रॉम द लैंड, फ्रॉम द सरफेस ऑफ द लैंड, the older layer of rocks, older layer of fossils and everything is going to come up. Okay, so keep this in mind. This is the oldest, then there is clay, and then there is we have this Cenozoic period. Okay, now what's the inference over here? जो भी ये टाइम पीरियड होंगे क्रेटाशियस सिनोजोइक, उनके बीच का is this clay part. Okay, the clay is from a time period between these two Cenozoic and Cretaceous. Wonderfully, what is happening is that this coincides with disappearance of dinosaurs, and the time period is also given to us over here. कहा दिया है भाई 63 million years. Okay, and the clay is from 63 million years ago and coincides with the disappearance of dinosaurs. So the information which this clay is now going to give to us can give us very strong hints about how the dinosaurs disappeared. ठीक है? So let's see what the authors or what the researchers found over there. One remarkable discovery that they made over there is this. Boss, in this clay, there is this element iridium which is found in a massive concentration. Iridium mila hai is clay. Okay, so what's appreciable about it? Compared to the layer below it, compared to the layer above it, the concentration of iridium in this is 30 times. This is a massive number. Okay, 30 times ज़्यादा iridium मिला है ऊपर के और नीचे के layer में. So obviously this means that the time period when this clay का layer formed, something special happened. And it's also given to us that iridium over time it is distributed very evenly, uniformly distribute होता है. You cannot have sudden deposits of iridium happening. But here we can see that there is a sudden massive jump in this element in this particular layer. पक्का कुछ तो special हुआ है. And given the massive jump, okay, it's not even like कि भाई 1.5x, 2x, ऐसा भी नहीं है, 30x, massive amount. So this is a strong hint that this iridium arrived on Earth from an extraterrestrial source. मतलब बाहर से, this iridium did not generate on Earth. Something came to Earth from outside and deposited this extra concentration of iridium all over the surface of Earth at that moment in time. कब? 63 million years ago. ठीक है? That is what is given to us in the second paragraph. Okay, let me highlight it for you, indicating a sudden deposition in an exceptional catastrophic event. The high iridium level is giving us that. एक बात क्लियर हो जाती है कि कोई एक सडन इवेंट हुआ, some kind of catastrophe from an external source colliding with Earth, and boom, we have so much iridium in the soil there. ठीक है? So what to infer from that? Now scientists start fighting with each other. Clear cut given us, scientists are sharply divided on the possible causes of such an event. ये event हुआ क्यों? इसके ऊपर में बहुत झगड़ा चल रहा है. But thankfully the scientists agree on one thing. What is that agreement? That supernova did not happen. Supernova did not happen. Just a moment. After effect of a supernova has been discounted. And the reason for that, once again, काफी सारा technical jargon is thrown away. We don't need to, paraphrase all that. This Pu 244 was absent. Iridium 191, 193 they were also absent. Blah 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 blah. ये कुछ लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. कोई भी science based, in any science based research based passage, maximum focus should lie on the result of the study, the consequences, the conclusion, and what is the consequence of those conclusions. ठीक है, the premise, the facts take a sort of back seat. ठीक है, so here the premise, the piece of information that यार this iridium 191 193 ये तो absent है, अभी हम क्या समझे, कभी आप बोल रहे हो iridium है, कभी आप बोलते हो नहीं है, हम करें क्या? Don't memorize all these things. Simply one takeaway where all the scientists agree with each other is that a supernova did not happen. ठीक है, all right, then what did happen? Then the jhagda is given to us, the fight between the scientists is given to us in these paragraphs. ठीक है, pay a little bit of close attention to figure out what is happening. Now, one thing is established that some external body collided with Earth and gifted this super extra iridium to Earth at that point of time. ठीक है, now scientists are trying to determine कि इतना सारा iridium अगर पूरे Earth के ऊपर if it is deposited, the size of that object should also be massive, right? It cannot be a pebble or a small rock. No, the size of the object is possibly massive, massive. And what is that? If it was an asteroid, then it would have been 10 kilometers in diameter. Imagine a rock so large that it is 10 kilometer large in diameter. Okay, pretty massive. And if it were a comet, okay, तो वो तो और भी डबल होगा साइज में, twice as large. It would have been 20 kilometers in diameter. ठीक है, all right. So even regarding the size of the object which collided with Earth and gifted us this iridium, not very clear. Some are saying अगर asteroid हो तो 10, if it were a comet तो 20 kilometers in size. Okay, whatever. Then the next paragraph is actually not that important, या फिर it's giving us literally a lot of extraneous information. 10-20 miles it was across, then maybe the size of Manhattan जितना wide, blah blah blah. And if you compare it to an analogy of एक टेनिस का बॉल है या फिर एक बास्केटबॉल है, सॉरी, if it is a basketball, तो बास्केटबॉल पे एक सैंड का दाना डालना, that is equivalent to Earth getting 20 miles बड़ा rock. So filmy narrative meant to give the reader understanding of perspective कि अच्छा ठीक है, this is the scale of events that's happening. But okay, we can choose to ignore this, we can afford to ignore this, because a lot of poetic explanation is given to us. Twice as tall as Mount Everest, length of Manhattan. What do I do with all this, man? I don't care. I want proper scientific information and uske consequences. What is the takeaway from this study that we are discussing? So moving quickly ahead, what is given to us over here? Now, scientists are saying, chalo theek hai, accepted that a large body 10-20 miles across came and collided with the Earth. तो इतना फ्रिक्शन होता है, इतनी हीट जनरेट होती है, तो ऑफ कोर्स इट वुड हैव कॉट फायर इन अर्थ का एटमॉस्फेयर ओनली. ओके, फेयर इनफ. Then there are some people who are making an argument कि boss, if such a massive object collided with Earth, तो हमें तो कोई एविडेंस ही नहीं दिख रहा that there is a massive crater or something which is 10-20 miles long and as wide as Manhattan वगैरह, ये तो कहीं पे दिख ही नहीं रहा है गड्ढा इतना बड़ा अर्थ पे. So what are you talking about? So in response to this argument, we have another let's say we have a researcher who is giving a credible explanation to it. His name is Richard Green. What is he saying? That was this clay which this extraterrestrial body brought to Earth, this asteroid or this comet, जो भी ये आया Earth पे collide हुआ, the clay which it deposited obviously would not have been stuck in one place only. Let me do some kind of diagram over here. Oral explanation though, so then this video is going to be no different than anything else. Just a moment, please. Whenever such technical details happen, I really wish that I had some really powerful editing team with me, which could have given very wonderful illustrations. But unfortunately, I am not in a position to afford. Okay. Okay, so consider this as the surface of the Earth, and people are saying that boss, okay, accepted that a massive body struck the Earth and must have created this massive crater over here, और ये रही समझ लो वो बॉडी. तो इतना बड़ा तो कहीं पे हमें माउंटेन या फिर इतना बड़ा तो कहीं क्रेटर मिल ही नहीं रहा है. तो व्हाट मस्ट हैव हैपेंड? तो रिचर्ड ग्रीव इज सेइंग, अकल लगाओ थोड़ी गधो, इतना सिंपल नहीं होता. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अ टाइम स्पैन ऑफ मिलियंस ऑफ इयर्स. So the clay from this body must have gotten redistributed all over the earth. Okay, so that doesn't mean that 63 million years ago एक कोई बड़ा ऑब्जेक्ट आया तो आज भी वो वैसा का वैसा ही होगा. over time it must have eroded and the clay from this body must have gotten deposited all over the earth gradually through forces like water, wind, air, whatever. Okay. So all right, okay. So he is saying that the clay layer could have resettled after the impact in the form of a fallout. Okay. Next. Then we have another fellow who is saying कि देखो boss, it is impossible that one single object so massive struck the earth. हो ही नहीं सकता. When such a massive object tried to collide with earth, so the friction in the earth's atmosphere and the alag forces must have forced this body to break up into literally millions of small debris जो पूरे अर्थ पे अलग अलग जगह पे ड्रॉप हो गए बेसिकली लाइक रेनफॉल टाइप इमेजिन करो और रेनफॉल भी गलत एनालॉजी हेल स्टॉर्म्स की तरफ that instead of one massive single body arriving on earth colliding with earth, no boss, it would have shattered into millions of debris and that's what happened and this is what the theory of one guy is. Frank Kite of UCLA. Now it's a good idea to keep in mind कहाँ पे कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी के लोगों का नाम दिया है. The passage starts off by mentioning people from Berkeley. Okay, here we are talking about Frank Kite. He's not from Berkeley, he's from UCLA. What does he say? That a comet, if disrupted by Earth's gravitational field, would have exposed the surface to a deluge of debris that would not have created major craters. Okay, so this guy is giving an explanation that boss देखो आपको गड्ढे नहीं दिख रहे ना अर्थ पे बड़े बड़े वो क्योंकि one single body did not impact the earth, it was that body getting shattered into millions of debris, so it was like solid rainfall falling down on earth and that is why we see a massive layer of clay of 2-inch thick over the earth at that time and that's why a sudden jump in iridium. Okay boss, all right, accepted. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Which color to use now? Okay. Alternatively, we have another Berkeley group. What is it suggesting? That the asteroid may have landed in the sea. Wow, so simple. हम सब झगड़ा करते रह गए कि भाई जमीन पे गड्ढा नहीं है, जमीन पे गड्ढा नहीं. Boss, Earth is covered with 70% water. Why should it land necessarily on land only, right? समुद्र में भी तो गिर सकता है. Okay, then what? It fell in the sea. It would have caused a tsunami sort of event. Massive waves which are 8 kilometers high. Can you imagine the size? Seriously, this is insane. Imagine the extent कहाँ तक पानी फैला होगा लैंड के ऊपर. So if this happened, then swamping large areas of earth. So effectively what the scientists from Berkeley are saying, that a massive object arrived on earth, it fell in the ocean, it created massive tsunamis and that water must have contained that clay with iridium which deposited it over large parts of the land. Okay, sounds fair enough. This also seems like a pretty legit theory. So as you can see, it's all speculation happening. It is still not clear what or how this clay from extraterrestrial object came on the earth. So this last second paragraph is complete speculation based. 3 different guys saying 3 different things. Then lastly, in the last paragraph, we have another fellow who is now making a lot of sense. Walter Alvarez is saying कि यार देखो कौन सी बॉडी से आया, जमीन पे गिरा, टुकड़ों में गिरा, वन पीस में गिरा, पानी में गिरा, does not matter. What matters is what happened afterwards. And he is giving a theory that the primary effect of this incident was that it disrupted the ecology, the environment of a planet Earth. It must have kicked up massive clouds of dust in the atmosphere. This cloud stopped sunlight from reaching the earth और sunlight रुक गया तो obvious है यार, who will die first? Plants. And because the plants died, so the base of the food chain of dinosaurs is disturbed. Entire earth का ecosystem now massively disturbed and hence dinosaurs extinct. ठीक है? So that is what Mr. Alvarez is explaining to us in the last paragraph. Now it is a bit too much to highlight. So once again I'll explain. Alvarez is saying body आई earth पे कैसे आई वो मत पूछो, बाद में क्या होता है वो मैं बताता हूँ. It must have kicked up massive clouds of dust which stopped sunlight. Sunlight stops, environment gets damaged, plants die तो entire chain reaction starts और उसका final sacrifice क्या है? Dinosaurs getting extinct. All right. So wrapping up the entire discussion of the passage now. What does the author say? We are discussing that till 1979, it was assumed that dinosaurs gradually disappeared over a lot of period of time. But now, because of this discovery of this 2-inch clay having a lot of iridium in it, theories of theories of extinction of dinosaurs are now undergoing a massive change. And what we have now effectively is that one single catastrophe happened, external body colliding with Earth, and dinosaurs vanished in a very short span of time, almost like a, okay, in the entire snap of fingers, like Thanos type situation for dinosaurs, keeping in mind the time period of Earth's geography. ठीक है, almost a Thanos like situation for dinosaurs. ठीक है, चल आगे चलते हैं. Let's go to the questions now. By the way, before we go to the questions, one important thing I would like to talk to you about. If you are interested in getting CAT, SNAP, ZAT, NMAT related VRC coaching, I have dropped my website in the description box, spellthecat.co.in. I have also dropped my contact number and mail ID. If you are interested in knowing the details about the batch, just hit me up on that mail ID or visit the website for more details, and I'll be more than glad to help you. Okay? So now I know that my video must be overlapping the content of the question, so I'll stop my video so we can focus only on the question content. Okay. Passage discusses a new discovery that may change the way scientists think about dinosaurs. It can be inferred that the discovery, जो भी बात की, what is the discovery? The clay का layer, which is very rich in iridium, it may revolutionize which aspect of dinosaurs. Now this current aspect means, current theories means 1979. Okay, once again I am saying, please don't read it from the perspective of 21st century 2024 2025 nahi hai. We have to think like 1979 mein. So what was happening? Let's go back to that part. Back then, it was understood that dinosaurs disappeared because of gradual climate change. But the entire passage elaborates before us that nahi, it was a sudden event, exceptional catastrophic event, and that is why dinosaurs disappeared. So the rate at which they disappeared, that is at the heart of the passage, and answer becomes obviously answer option B. Okay, the rate at which the extinction of dinosaur is thought to have occurred. ये aspect revolutionize होगा. This is going to be turned on its head completely. Other options are pretty lame, pretty bad. Option A, geographical extent of presumed habitation of dinosaur. मतलब अर्थ पे कितने हद तक फैले हुए थे डायनासोर, वर दे लिविंग ऑन दी वन कॉन्टिनेंट और हैड दे कवर्ड द एंटायर अर्थ, इसके बारे में अ लॉट ऑफ रिवोल्यूशन इज हैपनिंग. व्हाट? नो, दिस इज टोटली आउट ऑफ लाइन, नॉट एट ऑल अ कंसर्न ऑफ द पैसेज. बी, approximate date at which dinosaurs are thought to have become extinct. Now this seems like a decent option because the passage talks about 63 million disappearance of dinosaur. You might be tempted to select it, but is this time window getting revised? Is this time period saying कि नहीं नहीं पहले तो हम सोचते थे भाई डायनासोर तो 100 मिलियन साल पहले गए थे, बट नो नो नो, ये नई डिस्कवरी हुई है, उससे अब लगता है कि नहीं 63 मिलियन पहले गए. Is that happening? No. There is no debate about when the dinosaurs disappeared. The entire debate is about how quickly they disappeared. That is why option B is also irrelevant out. C, the assumption that dinosaur became extinct because of a change in natural environment. This is also a solid trap. Look, this assumption is not getting revolutionized. Dinosaurs definitely died because a change in environment happened. Okay, it's not that nuclear missiles hit all of them on the precision strike. Wrong. Something happened in the environment because of which they disappeared. The only thing is that is now changing is that it disappeared really very quickly, very quickly. So they definitely died because of a change in the environment, which is given to us in the last paragraph. So C is actually reinforced in the passage, not revolutionized. And option E, dinosaurs became extinct because of onset of ice age. Where is ice age mentioned? Not at all relevant. Out. Okay. So this is how the first question has to be tackled. Fairly straightforward. Still, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to help you. Okay. Let's go to the next question now. Till then, please make sure that you like, share and subscribe to the channel. This question actually official answer I'm not able to agree with it. What does it say? That okay, out of these three statements, which ones are true? Okay, so answer option given to us is, in my edition, in my copy at least, is option D, that statement 2 and 3 are correct, but I cannot find any mention of statement 3. The text explanation for this passage says that clear cut diya to hai passage mein that they are researching in different marine strata. I am not able to find it. Nowhere can we see that they are researching in multiple different places. Okay, so in my opinion, only only sentence 2 is correct, and 2 only, ऐसा तो कोई option कहीं पे present ही नहीं है. So I was forced to skip this question. Still not able to wrap my head around the official answer. Okay, so there you go. C and D or E all then become decent candidates. So absolutely no idea how they ended up marking this as the official answer, and I unfortunately cannot help you here. Moving ahead to the last question now. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. According to information given, scientists use the analysis of the isotopes present in the clay to do what? जो iridium मिला है, keep in mind the iridium which has been found, and the iridium concentration is 30 times compared to the other different layers of the land of limestone. So इसके दम पे what did scientists determine? So we have this actually, क्योंकि देखो in the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh paragraph झगड़ा ही चल रहा है passage में, ठीक है, but we want an option that scientists cumulatively agree on one thing. What were they able to solidly determine कि हाँ बाकी कुछ नहीं तो एक बात पक्का सही है. So we have that coming only in the third paragraph, that scientists are sharply divided on different things, but all of them at least agree on one thing कि ये compounds, ये sorry not compound, this elements they are out. The supernova theory is out. कुछ भी हुआ होगा, supernova तो पक्का नहीं हुआ. So all of them are able to determine that one theory, one concept definitely did not happen. So answer option is B. Eliminate a possible theory concerning the enriched clay का formation. That the clay must have formed because of 10 different reasons, but one reason was not there. And what? Supernova के वजह से तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं बनी. ठीक है? So that is why option D is the answer. Thanks a lot for watching. Once again, I would like to repeat that if you are interested in getting coaching regarding CAT, SNAP, NMAT and SAT from me, I coach aspirants online, okay, not just offline but also online. For all these exams, VRC, you can get in touch with me on this mail ID or on this contact number of mine. I've also dropped my website details, wellthecat.co.in. You can visit it and get a first-hand idea of the batch details. Okay? Till then, tada, bye-bye, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.